Been through the rain and I weathered the storm, I'm not looking to stop. My God sent the angels, I'm good when I move like I move with the mob. Tears in the valley, this life is a jungle, I pray to the top.
Look at you.
Thanks, big guy.
Yeah. Shout out, big guy. Look at Mom, tapped in.
I'm running with God. Yeah, I'm running with God.
Man, where do we start?
Good question.
Where do we start? Mom, you're in almost every album. A reference to your strength and your faith and your unwavering spirit is in almost every song.
It is.
Yeah. And this has been something that I wanted to do for about maybe 2 or 3 years, because the more your son kind of came to grips with who he is, me telling my story and not highlighting you in a big facet of that would be doing a disservice to the whole journey. So, without further ado, shout out BA, that's personal, that. Shout out BA, shout out Mama. This is special. Seeing your son going from in the living
closet.
room. Yep, in the living room. I said, Mom, can I turn this closet with the whole AC unit, can I turn this into a studio?
Yes.
I tell my wife this all the time, because Mom, you know me, I'm trying to figure it out and fire off. Being young and being on fire, you never said, son, that sound crazy. Son, what are you thinking? Son, stick to school. No matter what I brought to you, you always encouraged it. I'm grateful for that. But as a mom, thinking about the whole picture, when I was bringing you those ideas and all of these concepts, what was going through your mind?
I believed in you because you believed in you. And, I always believed that, hey, you could do what you want to do. Whatever you put your mind to it, you could do it.
Yeah.
And I encouraged that. So if I encouraged it, why would I say, no, don't do that now?
Yeah.
So, and plus you had the passion, you had the drive, you were motivated to do it.
Man, that's just, as you talking, I'm going back to the big blue house in Pine Bluff, and I'm thinking about sitting on the steps of the house and I'm freestyling and I'm writing, and I'm like, a lot of kids, especially nowadays, kids want to be YouTubers, kids want to be influencers, and their parents are not having it. And I'm like, I thank God that wasn't my reference, right? I thank God that, I had a big cheerleader. I had a counselor, Mom, you listen to me, I'm listening to you. And, that's why it's hard for me to go into a studio when I'm open and authentic and not reference the launching pad. Faith, family, Mom. 13, I quit. The only thing I gave myself a chance to quit, football. Drop out of football, and I said, man, you know what? I don't like the idea of quitting, so I'm gonna take music serious. At this time, all my older brothers, they think they my managers, and they like,
Right.
this your name. And, one thing I do like about our house and our home environment was, Mom, we didn't really need nothing outside of the family. And that's one, it didn't matter where we was or how we was, the family was always a strong unit. The one thing I'm grateful for is from our family environment came this spirit of go get it. Came the spirit of we're not gonna complain, came, the spirit of we're gonna persevere. But at the end of the day, I'm just the son. That came from you. Where did that come from? Just like, I'm not gonna complain, I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, that came from your great grandmother, who actually put it in me because she was the original go-getter.
Yeah.
She was my shero.
Yeah.
What I do is because of her.
Yeah.
And what she taught me,
Yeah.
what she put into me. And it makes me feel good to know that I passed that on, because that makes me proud.
Yeah.
As a mom, to look at my kids and know that, hey, I raised this person and they're beneficial to the world, to the community, to their coworkers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, when I hear people just saying, oh, your son or your daughter is she's so nice and she's so mannerable, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah. I did that. Yeah. What were things that you were intentional about? Like, I want my kids, because Mom, you look at your kids, none of us are just out here winging it. We focus, we after it. You know, Jaleesa, Tina, your daughters, we're after it. What were some things that you were intentionally displaying or putting in place for us to take away, you know, into our adulthood?
Well, I hope that you would see me as a person that wanted something out of life.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter what trials, tribulations, hard times, bad times, no lights, you know, through it all, you know, we gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, just holding on to my faith and believing and trusting God for everything, because that's my source. You know, once you realize that's your source, you know you can do anything, you know, you can accomplish anything. So
big God.
That's what it is. Big God. Not the little one.
You know, one thing, Mom, now as a kid, I can't say that I understood everything we was going through and the depth of what we were going through. But one takeaway that I knew for sure was, man, I never really saw you complain. And even in my adulthood now, even when I go through the valleys, my music always has this triumphant vibe. It always has this, I'm going to overcome vibe. And I know that stems a lot from seeing you come out victorious time and time again. Because this is a single mom of 8, not of 2, not of 3, not of a few, a single mom of 8.
Right. Non-technically.
Non-technically, these are facts. What was that driver for you? I know the spiritual side of like big God, but I mean, you come home, you see all of these faces depending on you. What was that driver to say, I gotta keep going?
That was the drive.
Yeah.
How do I let my babies down?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And why can't I let them down? Because my father never let me down.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about big God.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do anything without big God.
Yeah, big God, come on. I think one thing that I've grown to understand and thank God more for in today's awareness is the struggle. Because if I had that, I don't think I would be as sensitive to setbacks. I don't think I would be as sensitive to what other people may be going through. But because I've been there, I can relate there, I can connect there, I can engage there, I can empathize there. But without that engagement in those moments, I definitely think the person that sits here today would be completely different. But when I was in college and I was hurting and I was blaming Dad, I couldn't perceive what God was doing in that time. But like the Bible said, you know, you don't understand now, but later you will. And my wife didn't hear me sing this song a lot. I thank God a lot for what we've been through, because if more than anything, it shaped my character.
It definitely did that. A lot of people probably want to know about the YB and the name change.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Why change the name? Growing up in a household of 8, the invisible code is we don't complain. We don't do these things because you don't really have the time to process that stuff. There were times where I really didn't feel seen, which I was okay with because I don't complain, right? But when you do that over years, certain things that should be processed start to be suppressed. You just push it down and you keep going. So that is the thing that I've learned as I've grown older is, you know, running with God and having that perseverance. But me never stopping was actually fueling the trauma. So when I got saved, I met God and religion. Religion is just a practice of just rules and legalism. You know, being with God is more about surrendering in the mess. I'm not in a rush to get out of my mess because that's not going to draw me any closer to God. What makes God God is Him coming into the mess. Yes. So what I had to realize is, why be? The name was literally a question. Why be normal? Why be content? Why not be great? Well, the thing that I struggle with the most is, man, can I trust myself? God, I got so much faith in you. I don't have no faith in who you're sending, me. So the whole journey of YB was a journey of doubt. So as people was rooting for me, man, don't change it. I'm almost tired of YB because of the fights that I've had with myself to get to experience the freedom that I have now. So the 10-year journey of YB was a journey of self-doubt, questioning myself, questioning my purpose, questioning God's call. And I remember even when Dad wasn't around, Antonio would say, "Little bro," in the room, the first time I ever freestyled, he said in front of seven or eight, almost adults, he said, "No, let my little brothers rap." And he handed me that mic and my eyes grew wide. I said, "Oh Lord." And he said, "Man, you do it." And I started rapping, and the number one thing I said, "Whatever you do, just don't stop." And I'm rapping and I'm looking at everybody like surprised, who's this little dude? And I remember every time I would finish freestyling, I would say, "BEEZY." And that was like my stamp of like, fear you lost. When I would rap with Demetrius, he like, "Man, y'all think y'all can rap? Listen to my little brother." And then I would do my thing, and then I would always close with BEEZY. And that was like my signature of I won't let fear win. Because you rapping in front of people, you don't want to make no mistake. Right. But when I would overcome, that was like almost my signature. So me changing my name to BEEZY is going back to the kid who had the freedom in the first place. Right. Before there was a stage, before there was people patting me on my back, before there was claps and giggles, and there was God saying, "You think you're an artist, you think you're a rapper. No. This is just a gift. And this gift is just a vehicle for my glory and my purpose." So me going back to BEEZY is going back to the foundation of no matter what I've been through, it's made me stronger. No matter what I've been through, it's grew my character. And whether you accept it or not, it's okay because I'm free now. 808 BEEZY. You feel me?
I feel
you. Feel me? Yeah, so that's what so that's the name change. And a lot of people kept asking, and it's hard to put all of that in one statement because it's something legal or it's a rebrand. No, everything had changed in my life. Me as a husband, me as a father. My artist name was the last thing to evolve. One thing I've loved about you, Mom, it was after Play for Keeps debuted in Times Square, and I was going to post a video how it started and how it's going, and I was going to show like the Times Square of like how it's going. But I went back to how it started. And I'm looking at this old footage of me performing in a trampoline park in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is about 2015, and it's about 23 kids there. And I mean, this is early YB.
But you still going hard.
I'm going hard. But on the side of the stage, jumping just as hard as me, sweating just as hard as me, was you. And I'm in New York about to just bust out in tears because I'm trying to tell the world how it started and how it's going. And God is like, no, you missing it. Don't forget these times, be grateful for these times. And I wanted to text you that, it was probably like 1:30 in the morning, but you don't get nowhere by yourself. And for me, one thing I'm so grateful for, even in my own home, is my daughters know, my wife know, every Friday, I wish they was here, Ferris Family Fun Friday. We get ice cream and we riding around through the city. Kylie know, my daughters know, but it stemmed from you. So Mom, how important is family?
For me, it literally means what it is, just us. When I grew up, my grandmother raised me.
Yeah.
So I grew up with a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah.
Feelings of abandonment and all kinds of things like that. So when people ask me like, why did you have 8 kids? It was because I wanted to have somebody to love me and that I could love. That was my initial reason for having 8 kids.
Yeah.
So when I say it's just us, it's because I want to pour everything that I've got into y'all.
Yeah.
And I want it to be just us.
Yeah.
Because I don't want y'all to have to experience the things that I experienced growing up as a child. I never heard "I love you," stuff like that. I never heard "you could do it." I was a smart student, very smart. I could get a C without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So just imagine if I had somebody to encourage me and say, "Oh, Beb, you're doing great. You can do this. You can do that." What could I have done?
Yeah.
But because I didn't have that, and when I said that I wanted to be a parent, a mom, I said I wanted to do everything totally different from what I experienced. Not everything, because my grandmama poured some good stuff into me.
Yeah.
But she was old school, so you know, you didn't hear "I love you" in the house.
Yeah.
And our thing was, before we left, everybody, "I love you," even to this day. When we end the conversation, "I love you."
Yeah.
You know, so.
Now yours is "I love you more."
Right.
You won't be beat. You won't be beat.
So that was my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad about it. And I'm glad the way that everything turned out. I'm glad that I was able to give you guys what I didn't get.
Yeah.
What I longed for.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it took hold. It grew.
Yeah.
You know, and when I look at y'all and I look at you with your kids and Will with his kids and Jaleesa with, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, they are amazing parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could have been like that with them. You know?
Mom, those are things that, you know, I wouldn't trade for the world because, you know, I call you BA for a reason. People be like, your son call you BA?
Right.
Because you mom, but you like, you here. Yeah. And that's like, even I told you when we was getting ready to hang out, my wife was like, babe, are you excited to hang with your mom? And I'm like, babe, chill. She said, but no, you and your mom bond is so cool. Like me and my mom don't do that. And I was like, babe, you know, she see us and she get excited that I'm hanging out with you. But you know, that's one thing, you know, even when I went to college, I wanted to put my best foot forward because I saw you make so many sacrifices that no matter how high or wherever, I always thought this is the least I could do for all that she's done.
Well, I appreciate it. And you know I'm finna say something. I'm not gonna even say it. But son, just know. When you do good, it makes me look good. You wouldn't expect it that way.
Right, no, I didn't know you was gonna say that. Wow, a little full circle. That's a good one. That's a good one. But see,
that's a little inside joke. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Right, but it hit different when it's authentic.
Right.